Oh, that's not us. Just kidding. Now it's us. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back and good evening to another edition of Late Night TCG here on youtube.com/The Shuffle Squad. And as always, I am one of your commentators for the evening, Kyle Rios, aka known as Koopa in other places of the internet. And joining me this week is one of my very good friends, fresh off of a trip to Texas doing non-Pokemon related things, but still playing a lot of the Pokemon TCG. It is Miss Emily Foreman, aka Lyric. Hello, Emily. How you doing?
Good. We were just at locals together. How did you do? How did you do? You played colorless Lugia today.
I did. I decided on my deck for Toronto, and it will be colorless Lugia, because bird stocks are up, baby, and I'm going to wax poetic about Lugia until I am colorless in the face, truthfully. But it went as it was the Lugia night. Some hands were bad. I beat the Venomoth stall deck allegations because Weird Ear is broken. I won a game without having to put Archeops on the field, so I have gone where no man has gone before with Lugia, and that is to whatever that deck was. But I went 1 and 2. It's, you know what it is. We're going to talk about it a lot with the Lille regionals happening this weekend. By the way, if you're going to Lille, please be safe and have fun if you're going, but also be awareful of what's going on around you. And with Lille happening this weekend and Toronto happening next week, a lot can change. Lugia was the hot hand going into Sacramento. A whopping 4. Count them 4. I bought my mic on purpose because I'm excited. 4 Lugias made it in the top 8 of the colorless variety. So, the deck is definitely in a hot demand right now. We'll talk about that as we get there. I'm trying to see if we can possibly get us a match here in this Top Cut, because Top Cut is complete. We did 8 rounds of Swiss tonight, and we are currently in the waiting room, waiting to see if anybody's gonna grace us with the stream tonight.
Yeah, one day they'll come on in. So I think it's funny. I think it's important to note while we still have kind of time before we do kind of round out into our top cut. I think it's really funny how you and I have kind of went back to our original decks. I mean, granted, colorless Lugia is, the new hotness compared to what Lugia was a couple months ago when you played it at Hartford. But I think it's really funny how we have gone on this very interesting kind of ride about around other decks. You got your first points with Mew VMAX, I get my first points with Chien-Pao, and we're not happy with the decks right now.
And then there's last week when we played each other's decks.
Yeah, where we did play each other's decks.
It truly has gone full circle in the strangest of ways.
But literally we go on this giant journey, and we're literally just back to where we started. I went to 1, I guess I want to call it, at locals tonight, because time was of the essence, excuse me, where I just needed to just go and get back here. And I got back here with maybe 10 minutes to spare before our Top Cut did begin for this evening, and I'm really excited. It's really funny because if you check the meta forecast for Peoria, which passed, there's also very important to note that there are 4 regionals this month happening all over the world, right? 2 in the United States, 1 in France, and 1 in Canada, and they're all happening in a row. So it's kind of hard to remember which meta forecast is coming out. But I had an oopsie moment where in the podcast I'm I'm not really a believer in colorless Lugia, and colorless Lugia, like you said, big winner. So that's the dunce hat for me tonight, as I continue to just be wrong about opinions. But c'est la vie, moving on, and now we're back at late night, and I think late night is really fun, Kyle, because we get to kind of go in and we get to see all of these wacky deck lists. And I just have to call it out, we see an Origin Form Palkia list, and while Origin Form Palkia is not weird, right, I gotta say the engine that is piloting it is a little bit weird, because it's Origin Form Palkia V and V-Star, and then Charizard and Pidgeot. So, that is literally the pile of all time, if you will.
Yeah, it's the Ye Olde Steam Engine approach here. It's not the most like, it's not the weirdest build of Charizard I've seen. I have seen this build pop up a couple places, and it makes sense. I mean, both those Pokemon, both in Origin Form Palkia and Charizard EX, don't require much maintenance in terms of attackers. It's just like, okay, you attach 2 energy, and you just kind of swing into whatever you want for, you know, a decent amount of damage each turn. So the deck is very low maintenance. It runs itself, and whatever you can't reach in one go around is easily covered by Pidgeot and other consistency tools. But yeah, that's definitely an interesting one. We obviously have a Miraidon in top 8 as well. Again, I don't think, you know, we do love to see it. Again, you know, Miraidon a little bit absent from Sacramento, as we'll talk about. And again, you know, it kind of, you know, the whole Lugia Renaissance thing was very interesting, you know, and I get why it was so popular. If you look really deep at the numbers, you know, all those Lugia players only ran into a total of 1 Miraidon match, and that Lugia player lost a match to Miraidon. So Miraidon is still one of those things where, like, you just might have to take the L. Like, it's just one of those, you can't cover yourself for everything. But when you beat everything else, including Lost Box, you know, with this new Snorlax build, again, considering that Lost Box was the, you know, the highest converting deck in the day 2, you're going to have yourself a pretty good time. I think one of the top 8 Lugia decks, I forget which one it was, played 11 Lost Box matches. Like, so, you know, when when it's that streamlined for you, it makes it makes no surprise as to how the deck converted so well. And the meta is so tight right now, you know, we kind of talked about how we're both kind of in our own, like, what are we going to do moving forward for this next region we're both going to? Yep. I think Rahul Reddy said it best on a stream interview. That's like, the meta is so tight right now. There's no, like, Silver Tempest Lugia that's, like, kind of running the show right now. You just kind of have to play with whatever you're comfortable with. You know, run whatever deck you seem to be able to pilot for 9 rounds. Like, I felt, you know, I don't want to play Mew because there's too much Charizard going around personally. And I don't want that strain on my mental health. So I'll take the mental health of not getting an Archeops out versus losing the game in 3 turns, you know, with that. So that being said, though, we are, again, currently in progress, trying to get some matches going here. It looks like there's a Lost Box in top 8 here of the Aerodactyl variety, which is cool for you folks at home that are into that.
They're going, if you will.
That is All Out Blitzel. They're going up against Kaizozuka, who's hailing from Japan, playing Gardevoir, a deck where a Gardevoir with Cleffa in it, so that's cute for both figuratively and literally. Also, shout outs to all the folks in chat right now, you know, that are joining us on this late evening. I see Ajax in the chat, hanging out. What's up, buddy?
We love AJ.
I don't know that. I've never met that guy before in my life.
Yeah, so, actually, that's true. I have to say, though, while we're kind of like talking about our top 8 for tonight, it's a very healthy, like, mix of lists, right? Coming out of the Swiss as number 1 seed, it is going to be Chien-Pao Baxcalibur, which is a deck, right, that I think is picking up a little bit more steam ever since Peoria. I'm gonna have to remember that it's Peoria. And what's funny about this Chien-Pao Palkia list is that, or Chien-Pao Baxcalibur list, excuse me, it is playing 1 Avery. I think a lot of Chien-Pao players are like, yeah, let's just run very low support counts, or like supporter counts right now, and every list I see has been playing 4 Irida and 1 Iono, but like Bro just came in and was just like, but what if I threw in the Avery? Because it does kind of get rid of some like cards on the bench, which can help in matchups like Lugia where you think you're kind of safe, right? Also does help in the Mew matchup, which people can struggle in. And then you get to draw 3 cards on top of it. But it's a kind of this very weird Hail Mary pick, but you're also going up against Miraidon, which Miraidon was the deck that I switched to after Chien-Pao because I couldn't stand path meta anymore. And what's very interesting about this Miraidon is that it's playing the Zeraora V and the Zeraora V-Star. A lot of times you kind of expect like the Chews, you know, Flaffy and like all of that good stuff. Like Bro is not playing Miraidon. He's playing Miraidon too.
Yeah. Zeraora V-Star is an interesting card to say the least. Number one, it came out so late in like Sword and Shield's lifestyle, it's like lifespan, is that like you didn't really get to see a big opportunity for it. But I mean, a Crushing Beat's not a terrible card. Like it does, you know, for 2 lightning and a colorless, you do 190 and you discard a stadium. That's cool. Its V-Star attacks like pretty cool. You choose one of your opponent's Pokemon 4 times, and you do 60 damage to it. So that's kind of neat. Like you're basically just kind of stomping on a bug that might already be knocked out. So it's interesting to say the least. I feel like most lightning like Pokemon, like their big thing is spreading damage, doing set damage, keeping you stunned in the active. I think it's a fun variant of the deck. I think you kind of throw most lightning attackers in there, and you might be able to rummage something up. I've heard rumblings of Belly Bolt EX, popping up in some places. That's certainly a card of all time. Luxray is a card that can also pop up in, not just Miraidon, but in Mew as well. That's definitely been the hot tech card as of late. Now that the DTE Mew has come back with its own renaissance period again, so interesting stuff to say the least.
Yeah, I think Grabber Mew right now is certainly getting some hotness. I had the pleasure of playing Colin Merle Matthews last night for some fun times. As Chempao, I kept getting fang sniped about 4 times. And it was a really, really fun and good, healthy time, and I really enjoyed it. And it wasn't until I switched to Miraidon, where, just for funsies against your Mew player, that you're playing against, that I teched in 2 Drapions to really feel the pain on that one. And yeah, Luxray is interesting because Luxray, one of my favorite Pokemon, because it's cool, but it can go in a lot of decks. I think, like you were talking about, it's a very versatile card. It also just kind of allows for you to kind of completely disrupt your opponent's kind of process of thought, and honestly, it's a good card.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a fun card for sure. Mew's always been one of those fun decks where it's just I love watching how Mew players can stretch technology to kind of make Mew fit its own fit its own narrative. You've seen it play it with Flying Pikachu VMAX. That was a fun one for a while. Right. Mew's played Aerodactyl V-Star again. Also interesting stuff. Mew's played Drapion in its list. Mew's played Charizard EX in its list. It's just right. This deck is just forever silly putty, and it just kind of can adapt into whatever situation it tries to get itself into, and it seems to just work well for itself. So, but as we're apologize about the lack of a match right now. We are at the mercy of whoever wants to be streaming, as we are now joined by our third commentator, Leader Scott.
Yeah, Mochi's just really jazzed about the thought of Luxray, another cat in the cat family, being added into the meta just a little bit more. But yeah, Grabber Mew is certainly a beast. But like I said, like we've been talking about, we have Lille coming up this weekend. We also have Toronto coming up next weekend. We get a nice little break, and then we head into. I'm working, man. Then we get a nice little break, and then we get to kind of see what LAIC brings, and then San Antonio. There's a lot of Pokemon to be played. Even though it will slow down after this month, but it's an exciting time because then Paradox Rift is coming. And honestly, after seeing some of those cards, I wasn't really excited about that set, but now after seeing some of the cards, not only are the art's very pretty, Iron Hands literally being the Kool-Aid man and running into walls, but literally just the full arts are gorgeous. I'm really excited to kind of see new deck archetypes come out as well with future and ancient decks, and we can already see we're working out, and it's nice to see kind of a shift in the meta for sure.
What's your chase card from the set so far?
That's really tough. I mean, for me,
these cards look so sick. They look so awesome.
I'm gonna keep it a stack, right? For me, thank you, Mochi. Really enjoyed your presence. So I collect all full art trainers, so I can't even say that my chase cards are full art trainers because I get all of them anyway. I got the Swablu secret illustration today because somebody had it, so I was able to kind of like scoop that up. And I like the Swablu is like one of my favorite Gen 3 Pokemon, and of course I love Dragon types, and Altaria is a Dragon type, TCG, blah blah blah. It's so hard to tell though. Like, there's so many good cards. I think Goldango and Gimme Ghoul, the secret illustration, is gonna be like everybody's chase, right? And I really can't wait until we hit the point where that deck is going to be legal, because I think Andrew Mahone showcasing it really well on his stream, calling it the string cheese deck, and I'm very excited to see the string cheese deck.
Oh yeah, I'm very much in the church of the cheese man, waiting for him to come out. That deck looks so silly, and you've seen like deck archetypes like that be successful in the past. For a single energy, you discard a bunch of stuff you play a bunch of cards from your hand, and it works out well. Rapid Strike Malamar was very much a thing when that first came out, and that has like shades of that. And I'm sure there's other deck archetypes that I'm forgetting about, as a new fish. But being able to attack for that sort of damage for one energy is nuts. Obviously the shout out to the content creators who are really pushing that stuff forward, so that way we have resources to play with, and we can see what we have to look forward to. Again, the ancient and future mechanics are just going to add a whole nother wrinkle to what's already a very deep meta game. Between obviously like Iron Hands EX is going to be certainly a force in certain decks against single prize decks. Goldengo looks like it's going to be be able to stand, hang with the crowd a bit. Just the Pokemon we haven't even mentioned, like the water type Garchomp EX with free retreat and is able to spread energy out, and is pairs well with other fighting type Pokemon. So that's cool. I'm so stoked for what's to be coming out. Pre-releases are starting for that, starting this weekend. I'm very much excited to get my hands on the good stuff, as we are going to give you an update on what's going on in the games right now, folks, against Liam Halliburton and Bug Have Lover. Sure.
Probably Bug a Lover. I don't know.
Bug a Lover 33. Let's go with that. That is
whatever.
That is a pretty. Actually, it's this is an interesting build of Mew VMAX. It's Fusion Mew with a Silene in it. Usually only really see Silene in the control version of Mew, but it's got some control-y aspects in here. It's got the escape. It's got the echoing horn, to bring back a weaker Pokemon. It's got the 4 Pokemon catcher. So, not sure this is the same Mew that we might have saw a couple weeks ago, but it could be under a different screen name. They're up 1-0 on the Steam Engine Liam Halliburton's list. So Palkia Charizard might be on the rocks here, but we are I believe there's another game happening right now as we take a look here. Pull the bracket up, thank you. Come on, where are you? There you are.
It's going.
There you are. All right, Homemade Biscuit up on Chris, number 1. So Miraidon up early on Shen Pao. So again, early look at what we could potentially be seeing here. As in Lille this weekend. I expect Miraidon to show up in big numbers again. I think Miraidon will convert well, considering how well Lugia just did, and most of these Lugia lists aren't going to run a Dunsparce in it. So I just don't. You know what it is? There's so much. You only have so much real estate to play in these decks. I think you can't. I think you're willing to take the L to that matchup if you beat everything else. So or just dodge the Miraidon. It's easy.
Yeah,
apparently.
simple, right?
Forehead.
Just dodge it for you, like we said. Still though, Miraidon's fun. Really enjoying the deck right now. I think it's a really good deck to pick up if you're new to TCG. It's definitely like a more beginner-friendly deck. Not saying that the sequencing doesn't matter, but I think the choices that you have to make are much lower risk than anything else would be, to be fair. If that sounds really bad, that might sound a little bad. But I just think it's a fun deck. Like I said, I've played Miraidon for a really long time anyway. Like that was my second deck that I kind of settled on when Scarlet Violet came out, and like I played it to Hartford. I did absolutely dog with it, and I picked Chen Pao up, and then I had a little phase where I wanted to go through the keys, like, oh yeah, the keys to success, that's really funny. Like I don't want my opponents to have a good time either. So yeah, I just think Miraidon's really good. It's a great deck. I think it's a great like beginner deck. I'm not a believer in Squawkabilly, like quite literally ever. I took that Squawk out of my deck for Drapion, and let me tell you, does that deck still bang with just one Drapion? So You know, if you brick, you're brick. But the thing is with Miraidon, uh, you should be able to like know within like the first 10-ish minutes, first like maybe 3 or 4 turns if you're cooking, and then you can scoop to go to game 2. You know, if you're not. So that's how it is.
I think Squawk is hype. I think that card's cool.
Squawk's a card. But like
He's
then
certainly a
again, right?
card.
I literally was on the meta forecast saying that I didn't believe in colorless Lugia, and you know, it won. So, I mean, I gotta also just like shout it out too. Like, I know a lot of people feel some type of way about 2 players with like, you know, their first opening seasons or like their first regionals, you know, making it all the way to finals. Bro literally was just like, I like Gyarados. Let me throw that in my deck. I think that's cool. I think that's cool. I think it's really great how people are like, you know, just picking up the game like instinctually and just making it all the way through. Because that's hype to me, personally. And it's just like you can play whatever you want, and as long as you play it well, you can make it to, you know, finals of a regional. Who cares?
Yep, I think the part for me that was most impressive was that like Arceus archetypes for a while just kind of fell off a little bit. I think Lost Tina being so good, it really made that deck kind of hard to hang around for a bit. You know, Giratina in general just really just rips Arceus apart. You know, not many cards are able to patrol that card as well as Giratina could, and Giratina's just kind of fallen off, you know, into the abyss seeking, you know, no pun intended, but that's kind of left room for the Arceus decks to come back with a vengeance, and you know, I think it was it was Kyle Sablehouse famously said that you can pair you know, Arceus with a ham sandwich V, and it will be able to, you know, see success. And you saw it right there. And I listened to a little bit of Nikolai's interview after the fact when he was playing. And he made a great point how he wants to play water this format because Melanie just makes, you know, it really kind of takes away that weird like energy problem you have sometimes with Arceus where you're not able to get the energy attachment for turn
Right.
all the time. And water just has such great consistency cards, that Melanie being one of them. So it makes sense that Charizard, you know, it's 99% an Arceus deck from what he said in his interview, but having the option of a Get Angry or, you know, a big HP Gyarados VMAX, you know, it proved to be the right call. You know, it got him second place at the tournament, and let me tell you, it was heck of a time to watch. I thought that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we're still waiting, unfortunately, for unfortunately, I think every single one of our round ones started without us, which sucks.
We're you know, we're at the mercy of our competitors that can stream. Not everybody has the ability to do it, so you know, we're just kind of here waiting to see what's going on. It looks like we're still in game 1 for a couple of these matches, so we just have to refresh and see what's going on. Yeah, so we're still in game 1. Going to game 2, so I think, you know, so we did a little bit of talking, so I'd say let's take a quick break, get some water. We'll
message you.
Yeah, let's reconvene in we'll reconvene in a couple minutes. Hang tight, folks. Hopefully by the time we'll be back, we'll be a little bit forward. We'll be back in just 2 seconds, so hang tight.
What was I supposed to say?
Awesome. Great job, Biscuit.
Hey, we're back, folks. And sorry about that. But we are back here with top 8, top cut of late night.
Top 4 now, right?
Top 4.
Officially?
We're in top. Yeah, we're in top 4. All out Blitzel took their win over Kai Souza. So the Lone Gardevoir out. We have they're going up against a Bug on one side. So it's Lost Box with Aerodactyl. You know, with a whole bunch of stuff going on here. Sweet God, going up against Mew. So definitely something to keep in mind there. You know, the Drapion is present. We are waiting for the winner of We Like Mike and Core Venus. They're gonna go up against a Homemade Biscuit here in top 4. So Homemade Biscuit taking the win over Chris. The Miraidon, Emily, continues to get results.
Woo! Let's go. Team Mariah. I like when decks perform really well and it's just like, oh man, like, yeah, like this is the deck that I know and I love, and it's just like, yes, like keep it going. I think also Chempao is like a pretty like popular deck this weird like format that we're going through. So jumping on into the game though, as we finally hit that top 4, which I'm very excited for. This is the Miraidon list with the Zeraora, right? Like,
yeah, so we're gonna see how Zeraora pilots here. You know, we just kind of immediately threw to the game here, so we're just kind of waiting to see the results of that other match. Just like Convirus was the one that was up 1-0 here, so we are just currently kind of awaiting the result of that game and see how we're all doing.
What do you think is gonna do well in Lille, Kyle?
It's tough to say, man. Like, I'm like, I don't want to say that like Mariah, you know, that I don't want to say that Mariah is like any less popular in Sacramento than it was all season. But I don't know if the Lugias seem to have converted well. I still think Lost Box is going to be a force to be reckoned with. Mew always tends to do good in Europe, so I'm willing to bet that Mew will somehow rear its cute, pretty little head into the top cut and make things interesting.
Very true.
What about you? How are you feeling? What do you think is going to make a big splash? Do we see more Venomoth?
I would like to. I would love to see a stupid Mimi deck kind of like go all the way. I think Rapid Strike Urshi is kind of a dying art at this point, and I still think that deck is really, really, really good. It's a weird like thought though. It could be anything at this point. I think it's not too far to say that Mew is still really good. I think everyone is trying to play Charizard to kind of like get rid of that, but it's like I said, it's so hard to say because there are so many decks that are popular right now.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned Rapid Strike because a fellow commentator of ours of the late night series, Victor Ong, placed, I think Victor got top 16, if I remember correctly. I will fact check myself on that one, but I know he did very well this past weekend. Yeah, top 16 in Sacramento with Rapid Strike. You know, started 10-1-1. Unfortunately, was kind of withered out at the end there playing Rapid Strike. So I think the deck still, as long as Miraidon continues to be like popular, you know, I think that deck's going to continue to be really, really. It's not going to be a terrible choice. You know, it does well against a Lost Box, Arceus decks. It hits for super effective damage. So, you know, with Mew kind of maybe taking a step back, and you know, it might make it a little bit, you know, sweeter to play the deck. Maybe it'll pop up a little, you know, more successful. It's shown great success in the European side of things so far. So, I like the deck a lot. I think it's very, very cool. So,
yeah, everyone loves getting yoga looped. Am I right, chat room? And nobody liked that.
Hey, listen, yogas are great for the mind, great for the body. You know what I mean? So,
true. Very true.
Right, still seeing what's going on with Convirus. We could see Rapid Strike coming up here possibly against, as it goes up against Lost Box Charizard. So, let's take a look at the deck list here. The unfortunate part about Rapid Strike is that the deck type is so, it's so ironed out. There's really no room for, like, any sort of, like, spicy tech stuff. You'll see a Spiritomb in here every now and then to kind of shut the Muse off or maybe slow them down a little bit. But for the most part, you're going to see kind of the same mix of Pokemon here. Maybe you see a different supporter every now and then. The Giacomo is a fun inclusion here. It's been a more popular inclusion, especially against those special energy decks like Mew, against Lugia. So, those are two of your worst matchups. Trying to make those as squishy for yourself as possible.
Right. Very, very true.
All right, still awaiting that is the game here. All out Blitzel and Bug Lover going at it on the other side of the bracket as well. Again, Fusion Mew continues to do well here in the late night. No big surprise. All out Blitzel, making a pretty interesting run. Beats 4 Gardevoir tonight. My gosh.
Woo.
That's tough stuff, man. It ain't easy. All right, but let's take a look here. Let's take a look at Homemade Biscuits run to get here so far. Pretty even all over the board here. Had to beat a little bit of everybody to get here. Only one loss to a Palkia Charizard deck, like we mentioned earlier. So interesting deck choice for sure. But had its fair share against beat a Lugia. To get to this point as well. Pretty standard. Again, I'm not surprised. I think we're going to see a lot of the Alexander Flatos list popping up this weekend. I'm certainly going to copy a lot of what we got going on here as well. As a new player, always looking for inspiration in places where I probably shouldn't. But hey, who am I to tell you what to play? You know what I mean? So
yeah, very true. All right, still waiting, and that is totally okay. Got all the time in the world as we're going into our top 4. You said Booga Lover cannot stream, so we'll let that play out. So.
We're just letting that play out. So let's take a look. I'm going to flip it back to us.
There was one Tinkaton list tonight. I just kind of want to put that out. Played by...
Oh, flip. Okay, never mind. Your camera wasn't on for a second. I flipped it back to us because while we're waiting to see what's going on. Oh, look, there we go. Convirus just happened to hop in and win there. So, and now we go back. Okay, we appreciate your guys' patience. We're gonna flip right back to our other channel. So stay tuned. All right, and we're back, folks. All right, so it is Vinus that I'm coming out on top there. Again, we apologize about the delay, but hey, everybody's, shout out to everybody that's trying their best to want to stream tonight. So, but we finally have that match we've been waiting for. It is going to be, like we said, Rapid Strike going up against Miraidon. Some say this is an auto loss, Emily.
Yeah.
Oh, and the stream went bye-bye.
Some would say you're absolutely correct. This is but with Zeraora VMAX, it's a little different, right? Like Zeraora. you are playing Intel Fu, as I like to call it, all you really need to do is kind of not bench your Intels, and you're okay. But we'll see how this one is going to go for sure.
Yeah, this is definitely a tough one. So, but here we go. We're getting into it here. We'll see who's going to come out on top here in the coin flip. Again, this is one of those matches where even if you go first, it doesn't necessarily, guarantee your safety. Miraidon, one of the most aggressive decks in the standard format, able to attack as early as turn 2 if everything happens to work out in its favor. You're going to have to hit a generator, in order to make that happen. But, hey, crazier things have happened, you know what I mean? So...
Mm-hmm. See how this one is going to go. We'll see the opening Miraidon hand is a mulligan, but we get a mulligan on the Corvinus side as well. So we get to start with a Raikou, which isn't necessarily the worst thing. And we know exactly what we're up against as well, but we gotta hope for some sort of ball here, whether it be a nest ball or an ultra ball, because we need to fill that bench. And if we're able to actually get something started with the electric generator, we could potentially swing. But I definitely think if we're not hitting a ball off of the opening hand, that turn 2 Iono, Kyle, is going to go absolutely crazy.
Yeah, no, 100%. And we see here on Corvinus' side, we have what I would say can't be a much better. You can't ask for a much better start. The Battle VIP pass on the opening hand, so gonna allow him to get those another Rapid Strike Urshifu and a Remoraid down. Obviously, Octillery, one of the best consistency cards in this deck. It's really the straw that stirs the drink in a lot of these matchups. Allows you to search out any Rapid Strike card from your deck. Could be a Stadium, could be an Energy, whatever you might need to kind of help you finish the combo. As this deck is something that you have to string a lot of things into each other to really make this deck pop off. That's definitely a huge one. And the Spiritomb coming down here, so that's going to shut off the Fleet-Footed, which, that's we're going to see a sad react from Biscuits. That's a sad biscuit for sure.
Yeah, it's time for the turn 2 Iono. The path, though, going to come down to try and alleviate some of this pain. But, unfortunately, we're going to have to give our opponent some more cards. But we do get the Miraidon off the top here. So we are going to be able to at least get something going. But this, Kyle, the Spiritomb,
where do we go?
Path, you path yourself. It's not looking too hot. This is just looking like an attached pass.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough ask for sure. If you are, Corvinus, then we're going to see the immediate revolution to Octillery. The Rapid Strike search is going to allow him to search out, whatever Rapid Strike card he wants here. It could be the Energy, but in this case, it's going to be the Urshifu VMAX. So, if you're Corvinus, you're smelling the blood in the water. Your opponent, you shut off your opponent's abilities, and they path themselves. So, that bench is looking awfully squishy right now. And the Irid is going to come down here as well. Again, one of the best supporter cards in the standard format right now, with how popular water is, will allow you to search out a water Pokemon and an item of your choice. So, curious what the item is going to be. But the supporter the water Pokemon we can imagine is going to be that Inteleon V. It's going to be Ultra Ball. Will be the item here.
It's very important to also note out with the attach onto the Miraidon, even if we use the Ultra Ball to get the Zeraora VMAX, both attacks require more than one energy to use, right? So Reactive Pulse, which does 60 times for each of your opponent's Pokemon in play that have an ability, you can't actually attack next turn too. So this is just going to be the easy first KO here, and we are just conceding and going to the next game. My goodness, once again, I hit this deck round 3 of Pittsburgh, and it was over before the match slips came out. This matchup is so hard, Kyle.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the harder matchups for this deck. Obviously, hitting for a weakness on Miraidon is already huge. And this deck is already like not super durable as it is. It's very much a glass cannon deck. You know, all of your main attackers are these squishy two-prizers. You know, even with the bravery charm, you're still not really doing a whole lot. And you know, you see Corvinus, you know, striking early on that opening turn, and you know, if your Biscuit's like, all right, well, let's just try it again. Certainly, I can't start bad twice in a row, right?
Yeah, too. And the worst part is that you pathed yourself technically. So there was a chance that you could have gotten a tandem unit, but things didn't work out. But I gotta call it out. Unfortunate. Double mulligan twice in the same set, and you have to start with the Hawlucha? Oh my goodness. What a tough time for Homemade Biscuits.
Yeah, the top deck is going to be really important here. You know, at least if you get a V Pokemon, you're able to salvage with that Forest Seal Stone. Allows you to get the piece you need to finish this. But otherwise, things are looking really, really tough here. You know, for Biscuit, if he's not able to, but he got the gift of possibly the worst start for Corvinus, the Spiritomb in the active. So we have Mew EX here, going to go for the Escape Rope and the Mysterious Tail and try to get something here to help the cause.
Not even a ball to help you search out the Miraidon either. Not even anything. Just going to have to be the Escape Rope pass. As now we're going to go into Corvinus' side, where I gotta say, Kyle, it's already looking a lot better with the Battle VIP pass, so we can only imagine what is going to be coming forth. Probably going to be that Urshifu and the Remoraid. Once again, as you had alluded to, the engine behind this deck, Remoraid, is so important here because of the ability to go just get any card that you possibly need in that moment. And you know, when you're playing against this deck, you really have to prioritize, do I want to get these two prizes out of here, or do I want to cut my opponent off from just having that free search, essentially?
All right, gonna immediately get the two Rapid Strike Pokemon down. Now still, but energy off the top deck, Mysterious Tail once again, and you get nothing. Good day, sir. What was we get the thumbs up react in pain, and there we go. Homemade Biscuit going to mail it in once again, and that's all she wrote. We're gonna flip back to us real quick so we can talk about that one. So hold on for 2 seconds, folks. All right, it's us again, your commentator, host, and Emily. Could you say that that sure was a Rapid Strike match?
Hey, like I said, the matchup is pretty hard in general, but when your deck doesn't literally let you tandem unit once in 2 games because you pathed yourself, gotta say that one's a little bit brutal. But so we know exactly now what is going into at least one side of our finals for this evening, and that will be Corvinus on the Rapid Strike Intel, like I said, which is still a pretty good deck, as All Out Blitzel currently on the Turbo Lost Box with the Aerodactyl friend included, is now 1-up on Boogalover. So we'll see how that one's gonna go, but that was just the most standard game of Miraidon I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, like we talk about how good of a deck Miraidon is when it's able to get off the ground, being able to set itself up without any effort. But unfortunately, right there, you see what the deck's biggest problem is. Sometimes you run so many energies and item cards in this deck that sometimes your opening hand is just really not that good. You're already a deck without a draw engine, so it's not like you have any way to draw out of it. If you choose to play Radiant Greninja, that's up to you. This list doesn't, and it's just made for a very unenjoyable 2 turns there. For Homemade Biscuit. So you feel for them. You feel for them for sure, a little bit there. But hopefully this is why we play best of 3s. But even then, the second game was just like, unfortunately, what do you think it could have got worse? Oh brother, yeah. It got worse.
Well, the thing is, right? You Mysterious Tail multiple times. You can't even get that right. The Electric Generator, even doing that to Hawlucha, is basically useless. So it is going to be, unfortunately, what it is for our friend homemade biscuit is now Corvinus, waiting in the wings as All Out Blitzel once again is leading. So we're either going to see Rapid Strike into Mew Meloetta, or we're going to see All Out Blitzel with just the Lost Box and Friend at this point, which is very interesting to kind of think about too. Aerodactyl V and Aerodactyl V Star, of course, both work kind of with Lost Box in general, because after you do attack with Aerodactyl V Star, you do have to kind of mill your deck just a little bit, but it is a solid fighting attacker too. I mean, 260 for the health is not necessarily, quote, squishy, but, you know, it's still a pretty, you know, good card.
It's a tough number to hit. Like, it's that, like, once you get out of that, like, 220, 230 range, like, you really start to reach numbers that, like, most decks, unless you hit, like, plus you play the infinite damage decks, like, can't really hit comfortably. You have to burn a lot of resources to get there, so certainly not out of the woods just yet. But like I said, they're all gonna have their hands full, you know, with this Rapid Strike deck, with the top deck of the gods. My gosh, shouts to Battle VIP Pass.
We'd love to see it too. So.
All right, so we're going to throw to a quick break real quick, folks, while this other match is finishing up. So when we get back, it'll either be more of us just kind of talk about what's going on, or we'll be ready to jump in to our finals match for tonight. So hang tight. We'll be right back in a second. Hello, folks, and we are back. Oh, sorry, folks. That is a. I have to adjust my my overlay here, so let's bring it back to us. That's still not us. Jesus, sorry, guys.
We're going.
Yeah, so our last round's being streamed on YouTube, so I have to figure. Give me 1 second. I gotta like drag this to like the. I gotta figure out how to like show this on stream right now. I need to add a window capture. That's what I'm window capturing right now, aren't I? Yeah. Doing that. Hold on. Let's fix this.
You're doing it.
Fix this. YouTube. No, that's YouTube Studio. I don't want to stream that. That's bad. There we go. All right. All right, we're back. There we go. We're so back. All right, let me adjust this a little bit. Sorry about the confusion, folks. We are currently on the fly right now with our final round here. We're going to maximize that screen for us, and we're going to adjust even further. Bada bing, bada boom. We're doing it live here as we found our final stream here. We are currently in finals as our good friend here, Blitzel, is streaming on YouTube. So go ahead and check him out. I'm sure
Kyle, he's also streaming in the Discord, by the way.
Oh, was he? Because I did not see him there before, so.
Yeah, he is here now. So if you want to just continue to use our overlay, we'll say the microphone is on though, so we probably need to like mute his side in Discord.
All right, hold on for 1 second, guys. Let me fix this real quick. All right, watch stream here. Gameplay, let's alright, then we'll hold on.
So Kyle, what you can do is just like right click the stream and then just lower the volume all the way down to 0.
I just click mute, so we're chilling.
Great. Let's do it.
On the fly production, folks. Again, I apologize. I'm doing my best here, so.
I'm just doing my best.
Yeah, but the end product we promise will look crispy for everybody to enjoy at home. So we got okay. There's
please. We were so close.
I'm sure he'll be back, right?
No. All right, go back to the OG.
Oh man.
Wait. We got it, Kyle. We can do it.
Okay, we're back. We're so back. Oh, okay. So we're seeing a screen within a screen right now. So now I gotta stretch this out real far. All right. What is? Okay. All right. I'm gonna try to like squeeze this into a screen as much as I can, guys. So we're actually looking at a picture within a picture right now. So if things look a little stretched out. My bad.
Fourth dimension, if you will.
we are certainly in the fourth dimension right now. So yeah, I appreciate everyone being patient. You know, like I said, there's a lot of it's a lot of community effort on everyone's part to make sure that this runs well, and I am currently running the 1s and 2s on the back end. So we're you know, as our streamers get ready, I also have to adjust on the fly. So I appreciate you guys being patient, and now you get to see how the pancakes are made. So,
true.
Boy, let me tell you, those are some pancakes.
Oh man. It is
So,
our first set of pancakes right now.
Lost Zone, Aerodactyl
Yes.
will be going up here against Rapid Strike, Urshifu.
Yeah.
So we believe. Let me just check in the admin chat, make sure we're because I'm gonna go on my part. Let's see what they say. All right, yeah. So anyway, so Rapid Strike Urshifu, Lost Zone box. Now I can't say that this matchup is fairly better for Lost Zone with the Aerodactyl in it. I think Aerodactyl's weak to grass. So, I mean, I guess it's an okay matchup. But I'm not sure. You know, Rapid Strike just hits for such these big, obnoxious numbers. Like, it really makes you think that, I'm curious how that wrinkle is going to work out here, especially because its V-Star power is kind of useless in this matchup. There isn't really I guess you can shut off double gunner, which is like fine. It protects your small guys, but like you're still getting your bench absolutely like eviscerated by Urshifu if you don't have a Manaphy set up. So I'm curious how this is going to shake down here.
This one's also going to be a little interesting too, because we can always, just because it is Lost Box, right? And yes, like you got to be watching out for the Aerodactyl because that's a little like funky and odd. You got to be watching out for the Raikou too. With Inteleon VMAX on the table, with Inteleon VMAX being on the table, and that's worth 3 prizes. Then you have to kind of hope that Mirage Gate doesn't connect because you don't even need 2 full benches to knock out that Inteleon, and that's 3 whole prizes. So this matchup could be very, very ugly for Box for sure, or for Intelfu.
All right, well, we'll see how it pans out here. Looks like we're just kind of waiting for the friend request to come through here from one side.
Bro is slow playing on the friend request. Can't believe this.
Well, let's see. Oh my God, buddy's got a lot of decks made there. Shouts out on one guy. And
go ahead.
Shouts out on one guy in Arceus tier. Someone's been grinding.
True. Yeah, right? Like, oh my goodness. When you really think about it. Like, that's tough. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, just kind of awaiting the start here. Where... Looks like everybody's thinking about it here.
Yeah, right. Everyone just wants to start. You want to start? I want to start. Blitzel probably wants to start. We shall get it going when it is time.
Okay, so maybe having a friend request problem, which is, again, making friends is hard, right?
Yeah, no, honestly, especially in like your 20s, right? Like that's a big question, like you always ask your therapist, right? Like, how do I make friends in my 20s? So
the answer is play Pokemon cards.
We are waiting for the judge. I like how we are getting the full picture as well, Kyle.
Yeah,
we are getting the full Limitless on this.
Yeah,
one.
we were truly like we're seeing exactly how the meal is made right now. So we're getting to see the judge's side of things. Looks like there was a judge call on somebody's end, so waiting to see how it goes here. Goes to start to Blitzel, by the way. Really big, almost at 1,800 subscribers. Good on them.
Yeah, congratulations. Not easy, especially in the TCG world too.
Nah, for sure. And again, shout outs to the plethora of content creators that are out there doing the dang thing. Here we go. Looks like we are getting into it here, folks. It is Corvinus with the Rapid Strike Urshifu box going up against Lost Box Aerodactyl.
And friends.
And friends. There's a lot of friends in this deck, Emily. I don't know if
that's why I say it's friends, right? Because there's really only a 2/2 line of the Lost Box there. So it literally is, you have to worry about Sableye, you have to worry about it's a 1/1 line, excuse me. You have to worry about Sableye, you have to worry about the Aerodactyl, Raikou, Dragonite, Gren still is on the table because it is what my friends have been starting to call the wet deck when you play like multiple water energies, and I love that.
I really dislike that.
You have to worry still about the Radiant Greninja, the Cramorant. Also, there's a Drapion in there. I love when decks just like sprinkle in a Drapion. They're like, yeah, it goes in every deck. We should do it. But yeah, it is literally not just this Aerodactyl because there's only one of them. One of them to deal with. You got like multiple other friends to deal with for sure.
All right, so we're having a connection problem here. It seems to be, this is what we're watching it happen in real time. This appears to be what the problem is. Now, sometimes this is solved by simply restarting the client. Sometimes that can fix it. I'm not sure what the, these things sort of happen. Technical difficulties are a thing. Sometimes you just kind of have to, fight through it. Hopefully we'll see a connection. There we go. We're in, folks. And here we go.
Number 1, best of 3 here.
Yeah, what are the...
See where the flip is going. Go ahead, Kyle.
I was going to say, one of the coin flips is going to be huge here. Looks like it is going to be Corvinus that's going to be able to go first. So that will allow them access to the first evolution. And that can be huge, depending on, again, if they're able to get the Remoraid out, if they're able to start with the Urshifu, that allows you to kind of go in early with things like Strafe, being able to attack whatever lone companies might be on the board already, depending on how we start here. That's a rough start here. For Blitzel, so even with a mulligan, they're gonna need even with a mulligan, that's just kind of a rough start. So we'll see what the top deck is, but we could see another series of quick games here. You have the Colress in hand, so it's like not like an unplayable garbage hand. That the top deck, you saw it in his face too. That's just not your ideal start for sure.
No, definitely not, right? But we do have ways to kind of reconcile the situation, right? We do have Colress for turn 2. We also have Beach Court, right? So we don't have to burn that energy, or we have to burn a switch cart to get Cramorant out of the active. So there's plenty of ways that we can even still go on ahead and use this Cramorant turn number 2, right? I mean, like I said, we'll have the Colress. Hopefully we'll be able to pull some Battle VIP passes. You can see it on Blitzel's face here. Very, very excited. So we're going to go for it. Only 1 Ultra Ball, Kyle. So that is not good either. You don't really have a strong start. But honestly, that Remoraid still may be in trouble just a little bit. We'll see what the Ultra Ball can pull up in terms of grabbing that first Comfy. But we definitely need to see cards. Now, here's the thing, Kyle. We could also get rid of one of our Forest Sealstones, as we can see, and like get a Dragonite perhaps, or an Aerodactyl. There's the Dragonite, and we can Forest Sealstone potentially for a Battle VIP pass, which I also think is a really good idea.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you're definitely gonna want to Ultra Ball for a V Pokemon, attach a stone to it, and then use the V-Star power to, again, just kind of help you recover from what's a pretty awful start. You don't ever want to, like, Forest Sealstone for the VIP pass. No, instead... That's going to put him in 4, because he's going to put this in a Lost Zone, and then the Forest Sealstone is going to go to Lost Zone, and that's going to allow him to attack the Remoraid for free. So that's even smarter. So capitalizing on a bad start from Corvinus' side. No Urshifu or Inteleon in sight, and able to, again, go in second, not the horse's lost box, able to get a turn 1 attack off here. So we're going to see the Inteleon hit the bench here. You can see the Irida come down, so definitely still not out of the woods yet is Blitz still. Definitely still has a really tough board state right now, so.
Yeah, true. Definitely a very interesting thought process as well. Didn't play down the Beach Court or the escape rope either, so we have tons of ways that we can get back into this. But here comes all of our friends in the Rapid Strike Urshifu deck. We have a Remoraid ready to go, but we also have that boss's orders. But instead, of course, we need to start getting on track. There's the VIP pass that we needed, I don't know, a while ago at this point. So we are going to see our first Comfy here, as now we're going to decide whether we want to retreat it or no. We're just going to, you know what? We're just going to full send. I mean, we've gotten through 2 Colress's experiment, and now we're going to get through 1 more our next turn, unless there's like a judge or something. But honestly, I'm not liking this for Blitzel right now, Kyle, because that double gunner Urshifu is always teasing right there.
Yeah, like, it's one of those things where you maybe kind of hope to have... Oh, we're getting into YouTube ad and top 8.
We love that.
Whoops, an ad within an ad, folks. Right here.
Welcome to your commercial break, everybody. We'll find out what Luminous sign.
That was so funny.
Anyway,
really so it looks like Luminous Sign wants to go grab the Irida, which makes sense. You're going to grab the Octillery. You're going to grab an Ultra Ball to search, probably for your Rapid Strike VMAX. Or you can even use artillery to get it. We could see the Spirit Tomb come down here to turn off fleet-footed, but I don't really see that being an option here. You're probably going to want to get another Inteleon set up here, or maybe another Urshifu, one of those two guys to get set up here, on the end of things. But again, I think Corvinus has been able to recover from a pretty rough start. Again, starting Remoraid and wasn't ideal, but again, now even though the fact that Blitzel was able to get the turn 2 attack off, you still have one Comfey on the board, you're a Cramorant in the active, a Raikou with no energy on it, and your hand isn't necessarily like the best of the world, so it definitely leaves a lot to be desired. So I'm curious what's gonna end up being the the equalizer here. And here we go. Gets the Escape Row coming out here. That's going to force Comfey to the active. You see the energy? Yeah, the energy's going to come down here. So that Strafe is going to hit for max damage, or Gale Thrust, excuse me. That's what the Evolution's attack is called. So that is going to do the max 150 damage. So there is nothing on the board here. Promoting a Raikou. It could be dangerous. Yours swinging for weakness here, and you dare go down 2 prize cards. Tough ask.
Yeah, true. We still also need some more cards into the Lost Zone before we try and get that Mirage Gate pumping. But honestly, this is really smart. We just want to kind of sack our Cramorant here. We'll be able to also get some damage as well. But for a Lost Box start, this is kind of heartbreaking too, right? The only times that we've seen any cards get added into that Lost Zone was actually just from Colress. We haven't actually seen a flower selecting yet today. So we are going to be bossing the Octillery. Such a smart move. We're also going to be attaching that lightning energy so we can potentially go for something next turn. But really, really good stuff from our friend Blitzel, as they're going to try and claw back as best as possible.
Yeah, listen, Octillery is a great target there. Play to your outs. Take care of the consistency card, because that could have easily been a search for, I'm going to assume there's a Karina's Focus in his deck somewhere. Yeah, there's one copy of Karina's if it's not already been played, so that would have allowed him to draw to 6. And again, just going to do a Gale Thrust for 30. That is, that's a big bear, and it's doing absolutely nothing, so...
Boris coming up to bat, instantly going to grab that Manaphy, but there are 2 Mirage Gates in there, Kyle. It's kind of a tough choice, right? Because Artisan can also kind of help you out just a little bit. But honestly, I feel like we're past the point of Comfeys at this point. We just need to kind of stabilize.
Wow, saying bye to both of those Mirage Gates is tough. But like you said, the board state's not terrible right now for Blitzel, so we're going to see the Raikou get promoted here. It's going to be able to swing nicely into any of these 3 Pokemon on the bench, because 3 of them are weak to lightning, and one of them has 110 damage on them already, so...
Wow, sacking the fish. We're going to go back into Comfey here. Going to see our first flower selecting. Really hard choice here, honestly, Kyle. That might be, really game-saving here for our friend Blitzel. But we are just going to go on ahead, play the Beach Court down, pass up to Raikou, Fleetfoot for 1, and at least we'll get 2 prizes for this. So honestly, like I said, Blitzel not doing too awful with the hands that they have been dealt with this entire time. But now you got to take that last prize on something here.
Yeah, obviously the easy choice here would be to try to swing into, one of the big Inteleons, for your for hitting for weakness. There is a boss in the discard, so hopefully you hope you're able to draw into possibly another one here. Just because that Urshifu just has way too much damage. Ooh, but the Iono to 2 is going to be huge here with only 1 draw support. It's 2 energies, Emily, and this is, depending on what the top deck is and what the Fleetfoot is, this could be a really, really rough turn here for Blitzel.
Yeah, who even knows at this point, right? As the Tower of Waters comes down, and here comes big boy Urshifu. To go on ahead and hit for weakness on Raikou V to get those 2 prizes. And now we're only kind of working with the single prizers here, Now, Kyle, in order for our friend Blitzel to come back, we need 100 good cards here. The Nest Ball will definitely help, but unfortunately, because we sacked those 2 Mirage Gates, it's not going to be too easy. But I like the pickup with the Gradient Greninja, right? We definitely want to see more cards. So we're going to be able to pitch one of our basic energies in here. And with Aerodactyl V also in the Lost Zone, it is definitely going to be the fighting energy, but I think it is Roxanne time for sure.
Yeah, Roxanne will allow Blitzel to draw to a hand of 6 and then, put Corvinus down to a hand of 2. So that's exactly what the play is going to be here. So able to draw out of what was a nightmare scenario there, and then get some pretty decent attackers on board here. Dragonite's going to hit the playing field. And
Once
we're
again,
going
though, you're down a couple Mirage Gates at this point, though, so this is looking pretty scary. We do have the Luminion, though. There is I believe one Mirage Gate left in play, but we're just going to spit innocently here and see what exactly we can get done.
Yeah, you're going to force Corvinus to swing into the Dragonite here to try to, go back on the prize trade lead, but with that 3-card hand and no draw engine in sight, that might not be necessarily feasible here. We could just see a thrust for a retreat out to the double gunner. One of the Inteleon VMAXs, with that Tower of Waters. As you see, Corvin's just kind of taking his time. You're going to Painful Spoon some energy. You're going to ping it on to Manaphy. Again, just kind of wait and see what's going to happen. It's going to be the boss's orders.
Ooh, okay. Taking the Dragonite and taking it up front. That's exactly how this one is going to go, as Inteleon is going to be up front now. So, what do we need? We need a lot here. There's the Colress, though, so we don't even need to bench the fish at this point. And we get the Mirage Gate back. That is double Mirage Gate here. That is looking fantastic. And I think it's also important to note as well that I think Greninja can still swing here. We'd be able to get at least the Alakazam out of here. Be able to stack on some more damage onto the Urshifu VMAX. But, it's all up to Blitzel here. There's a lot of routes that we could potentially take.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want to, first things first, super run some of the energy back into the deck to just guarantee you can do your attack with Dragonite. I'm just going to do it again for some safe measure, get some more friends back in here. The Sableye and the Psychic Energy going to come back into the deck as well. And again, while Dragonite's not going to be able to get the one-hit knockout here, it is going to put Blitzel in position to take 3 prizes here. So, you got 2 relatively soft VMAX Pokemon here and a Luminion on your bench. So I think this might actually be game, depending on what the top deck is from Corvinus. So you're going to see Dragon Gale hit for 250. We're most likely going to see a retreat out of that Inteleon and a Luminion for the boss's orders potentially to win the game here. So if you're Corvinus, you're going to try to disrupt the hand knowing that the Luminion is there and waiting. I don't know if there's an option, though. That's the option. You're just going to Painful Smooth the energy around again. I don't think they have it, Emily.
Yeah, this is unfortunate too because we haven't really seen a double gunner match from Corvinus either. And with Painful Spoons and double gunner, that's kind of where you get your money for things like things like getting your Manaphy's out. We didn't even see a Yoga Loop either, but like you said, Kyle, there is a Luminion in play. Considering just going for it again, but I actually just hate that idea. We can Luminion for boss and kind of hope for the best, unless, boss is potentially prized. But...
Yeah, or if he only plays one boss, that's also a scenario as well. So let me, yeah, there's only one boss order in the list, so gonna see the Clara here to just grab a couple more resources. And by resources, I mean Raikou.
Gonna have to concealed cards here as well, but there's the Super Rod, so we're talking about resources. We're gonna be able to do it. This one's difficult, right? So we could shred here, and then kind of hope for the best, because at least we'll be able to take a prize card. But I don't know, Kyle. There's, once again, a lot of routes we can take with this turn. We want to potentially hold that energy as well for concealed cards next turn, and we are just going to keep Radiant Alakazam trapped here because that retreat cost is 2, and we will see what Corvinus has to respond.
Yeah, again, you're kind of forcing your opponent into, taking a knockout on with a 3-card hand. They can move this damage around all they want, and that'll certainly help in regards to, like, being able to finish out these Yoga Loop combos, but able to get a KO off the bench, so, with Painful Spoon. So if they're able to get a knockout here on a Dragonite, that would be huge, but I just don't see that being in the cards for this turn alone, so...
Right, Clara on the other side as well, so we are going to be able to see a couple cards go back in hand. I would love to see, once again, we got to start moving things around here, so we definitely need a water energy to get something started, right? I mean, we gotta start moving these damage a little bit more. I mean, we got the Manaphy out, so now it's 2 prize, and if we're able to kind of take this Dragonite V out, then we're chilling. But honestly, we're at a point now where it's kind of like this Wild West standoff where it's like, who's gonna take the prize cards first? Because I feel like they're both waiting for each other.
Yeah, for sure. And these are the type of plays that you kind of set up for that Yoga Loop to be a factor here to take that extra turn. This could possibly be what we're looking at here. We're going to see Double Gunner come down, discard a water energy, and put 20 damage on your opponent's board. And yeah, again, we're just going to... You are forcing Corvinus is forcing the offense to go through Radiant Alakazam. And this is the type of plays you can make knowing with an open deck list that your opponent only has 1 boss's orders in the list. So you're just like, all right, I'm chilling. You don't have a way to get that resource back. I'm just going to hang out here. And, obviously the escape rope, it doesn't guarantee a win either. So, we're definitely seeing a little bit of a standoff here.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate because we're going to try and get to the Sableye, which is why we have that. Or we found it! Oh my goodness! I was about to say, like, you really just need the Psychic Energy. And my goodness, Blitzel going to be able, I believe, to take this knockout onto the Inteleon VMAX. So we are just going to be Lost Mining, and Blitzel, with what an insane start, just able to turn it all around and get a massive 4 prize turn, Kyle.
Yeah, excellent stuff right there. Again, just kind of holding out for that hero in the Sableye. It was a tough matchup for sure, but able to take 4 prize cards. Actually, in that turn there, so excellent stuff right there from Blitzel. Again, both players kind of started kind of awkwardly, but it was Blitzel that was able to stabilize the ship and, make it work here, so...
That was an amazing job by Blitzel, right? I mean, like, when you don't start your match with Comfy at all, and all of the cards in your Lost Zone are literally Colress, a lot of people would just scoop and go next. But honestly, really great stuff from Blitzel to just stay so headstrong. And now they are leading the set 1-0. All they need is 1 more, but Corvinus definitely not out of the count.
Yeah, I think that game would have been different if we saw Urshifu hit the floor on the first turn. But because that first turn was so bad for Corvinus, that kind of gave Blitzel the green flag to kind of just like play a little bit more reserved. It guaranteed at least 2 more turns before you saw Urshifu VMAX the earliest. So that kind of allows you to stabilize your ship a little bit. You had the resource, the supporters in hand to kind of dig into that bad spot. And you were rewarded for your efforts with what is 2 Taylor Swift tickets.
Oh my goodness, look at this. This is money, right?
Ooh,
Even
3 Taylor Swift tickets
on top. And here's the thing, right? Blitzel is going second, so this is basically a guaranteed Cram-O-Matic, I said Cram-O-Matic. Played a lot against Mute today. Basically a full Cramorant hit. You got 2 VIP pass and the Colress. Things are looking real good, Kyle. And the Radiant Greninja off the mulligan? My goodness.
Yeah, excellent stuff right there. And again, gets the battle VIP pass on the other side. So Corvinus going to be at least able to get 2 basics down here of their choice. Most likely going to be an Urshifu and an Inteleon, most likely. Or do you just go double Urshifu? Sorry here, no, double Inteleon. Okay, right, smart stuff. Oh my God, he also has Taylor Swift tickets.
This is crazy. So we went from kind of seeing bricks and having to fight really hard out of terrible situations to now both players with double VIP pass. Everything kind of looking much happier and a little bit chippier for everybody here. So double VIP pass on both sides. We will be able to grab the Urshifu and the Radiant Alakazam here. I would like to see this Remoraid get out of the active though, so it will be the Tower of Waters that does come down. We'll put something a little bit more bulky up front. But now, honestly, Kyle, we have a lot of the pieces that we need, I was about to say, for this Raikou potentially, if we're able to get 7 in the Lost Zone turn 2.
Yeah, I've seen crazier things happen, and I wouldn't be surprised to see it happen here. You definitely have the resources to go for it. Looks like you see Blitzel prize counting here just to make sure you're going to throw down the Manaphy here again. Your bench is always in danger in this Urshifu matchup, and go for the Aerodactyl. So Aerodactyl going to potentially make an appearance here, Emily.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, this is kind of the Lost Box and Friends here. We'll see what exactly we're going in the hand here. We got the Ultra Ball, the Switch card, and the Super Rod as well. So we will be saying goodbye to Luminion and Roxanne. This might be a little bit more difficult if we're unable to pull the Vacuum, but we are going to be grabbing that Water Energy, sending off, and now here we go. Beach Court is our first option here. We'll see what our second Kofi has to come up. It is going to be the Psychic Energy, and we'll see what we can grab off of the concealed cards. But I don't know, Kyle. It went from like a dream to a little bit more of a reality just now. But at least we get another VIP pass.
More Taylor Swift tickets.
Absolutely.
Truly incredible stuff. All right, but not going to burn it right there. Again, that's just going to be more. That's going to be Ultra Ball fodder in this next turn for sure to get the V-Star most likely. If you or Blitzel. But again, a good start from both teams here. The Manaphy down means that the bench is protected from all things Rapid Strike Box, but whether it be the Urshifu or the Double Gunner from a VMAX. We're going to see Luminion come down here to get a supporter. Most likely going to be an Irida. Potentially. Yep, there you go. Makes sense.
Yeah, right. So we're going to instantly start cooking here. It will probably be the Octillery. Once again, this is the engine that does drive the deck. We're able to grab any card out of our deck that does help us. So we'll see how this one is going to go. Once again, one of the best parts about Intel Fu, as I like to call it, lots of options, right? There's the energy search as well. So I'm thinking that we have the VMAX in hand, or we're going to be able to grab it off of the Octillery here. But it will be the energy search. We are going to grab that water, so we are going to be starting to ping that damage onto all of our lovely friends here on our side of Blitzel.
All right, now gonna immediately get rid of the energy there with the Ultra Ball. They just kind of thin out the deck here. Here comes the Inteleon VMAX and a 2-card hand. Now, Rap Structure yet to be used yet. Do we see the Karina's Focus come out or draw back up to 6? Do we see the energy card come out? No, it's going to be the Rapid Strike Energy here, so. We're going to see the attachment in the turn here, and I believe we could potentially see, the attack coming down here. Yep, the G-Max Spiral, you will reattach, you will do 70 off the rip, and if you put that energy back in your hand, you do another 70. So 140, and that checks out perfectly against Comfy. That's going to put Corvidus on the board here.
Yeah, fighting back really well, too. So we'll see what we get off of the Flower Select. And we do also have Boss's Orders, but there's the Vacuum that we needed last turn. Also probably needed a couple more in here, as we do have 5 in the Lost Zone. So like you said, Kyle, like you alluded to, we will be pitching the Battle VIP Pass and our new friend, the Lost Vacuum that we needed last turn. We're going to try and get something started here, but we are going to be going on into Aerodactyl, and we will be using the Ancient Star ability. So this one's going to be very interesting, but alas, nothing much comes up.
Yeah, no, excellent stuff for sure. So we're gonna see Aerodactyl V-Star do its thing here in this match. And again, the Ancient Star ability means that as long as Aerodactyl's in the active, no Pokemon have abilities except Aerodactyl.
Yeah, it's kind of like you don't get to play the game anymore.
Revenge is a dish best served with Aerodactyl, I guess.
Yeah. Kind of tough. So no more double gunner. This Aerodactyl here going to have to be a little bit more taken care of, but I gotta also call it out. There's 3 switch cards on Blitzel's side too, so we are still able to get stuff going with a little bit of flower selecting. Granted, I would like to see another Comfy on there. I feel like we have not seen any Comfies from Blitzel stick around, which goes to show how good they are as a player. Definitely knows how to pilot this deck. We do have the Urshifu VMAX though, as we are going to hit the evolve. And we are going to get all the way down to the last research. That is one of the best feelings in the world.
That's a high five for sure. So,
yeah.
Rapid Strike Search again going to allow the consistency card to come out here. We're going to get the other Teleon VMAX to evolve your small guy. So you have a bench full of really bulky VMAXs and then 2 fishy friends in Octillery and Luminion. So, but however, still not a great hand either here for for Ibisky. Gonna play the Clara to maybe again get the Psychic Energy, get back into the fray here, but still less than ideal deck.
Ooh, going for the retreat here into the Comfy. And now we got to start seeing some more cards. There is the Artisan. So we will be able to at least get something going. But this is not looking too clean either for Blitzel. While, yes, we're able to shut off some abilities on the other side of Corvinus, we are going to have to burn some things to start getting something going. There is the lightning energy that is taken, so this will allow for us to use concealed cards. There's another Comfy, but we do have that Ultra Ball, so we are going to be grabbing a basic Pokemon thanks to Artisan out of our deck here, as our friend Blitzel will be doing a little bit more of a deck search. But Kyle, this is still looking rough. I mean, we don't really have an attacker set up ready to go.
No, this is definitely not a position you want to find yourself in. You were forced to retreat, hard retreat with Aerodactyls. You don't even have energy equipped to do anything right now. It's definitely a precarious situation as that hand size for Corvinus continues to grow. Again, the combination of Artillery and Rapid Strike, anything is just too strong to say no, man. So we're going to see the energy attachment here. Mostly going to be a retreat of some sort.
Yeah, we're going to try and get there at least. It will be the Ultra Ball, though, so thinning the hand as much as possible here. Once we're able to get one of our VMAX friends up front, definitely be able to start swinging here. And it's also a good point to notice. Oop, did you lose the feed too? Oh, wait, all right, we're back. We're back.
We're so back.
We're so back. Ah, there's the Corinnas that you were talking about. We just got to get our friend Alakazam out of the active. I feel like a lot of the times now we're just like, all right, time to put the 2 retreat costs into the active because no one's ever, working with it.
Yeah, definitely a very hefty retreat cost for, a Radiant Pokemon. Again, unfortunately, for Alakazam, you are not a Rapid Strike Pokemon, so you are currently stuck right now. Let's see if Blitz is going to be able to play himself into a position to do something about this. You're going to conceal cards away. The water energy. See a couple more pieces here. Definitely has the tools to make something happen. Got the chorus off of that. Again, the chorus once again coming out here. Such a great support card.
Absolutely. One of the driving engines of this deck as well. So we'll be able to go back in. Do have a Colress's experiment in the Colress's experiment here. So that is usually just kind of like what we grab, right? We always want to see a little bit more cards. But we are going to be potentially saying goodbye to that Nest Ball and the Fighting Energy here, as now we have to figure out what we want to do next. Once again, we're still chilling with those switch cards, Kyle. So we are still able to flower select one more time, but we definitely want to start potentially seeing a Sableye come to life, and honestly, that might be what we're grabbing soon. Hey, look, that's what we're grabbing.
Yeah, we just got rid of those 2 Comfies. You don't really need more than 2, especially if you're running the big V attacker in this deck. So, Fossil once again, got some really tough choices here. Some very crucial energy being tossed into the Lost Zone. So, again, resource management is such an important game as a Lockbox player. A decision you make on turn 2 could potentially come back to haunt you turn 9 if you don't carefully count everything out.
Gotta look at the deck size as well, too. Down to only 10 cards. So we are going to be... Yeah, we gotta bench the Sableye first. No? All right. Well, maybe we can get our friend Greninja swinging. I like this style. I like this a lot. So we're able to put 90 damage on both the Alakazam and the Octillery. We could potentially go for a boss play, or we could start chunking down some of these V-Maxes, or we could just keep going onto the the helpless Luminian V hanging out.
Yeah, definitely a plethora of options here. You know, the 90 there will bring Luminion down to, I believe, let's see, 170 minus 90 is 80? Sounds about right?
Yes.
So you're set up here. I mean, if you're able to get the Psychic Energy, you're set up for next turn, I believe. So I'm assuming there's 10 loss right now. So you're definitely playing into a hand here where you can retreat out into Sableye and steal 3 KOs, from under the board here.
And still Rapid Strike Search ready to go. So we'll see where exactly we are going to go with this one. Uh-oh, there's our friend Medicham. So once again, we are thinning the deck. There's the double attachment onto Radiant Alakazam. So we are safe, at least for the moment here. So we are going to be promoting Inteleon VMAX, as we are going to be able to hit that Gmax spiral. The energy goes back to deck. Greninja will be falling, but luckily for Blitzel, we do have 2 Super Rods, and we do also have that Sableye ready to go as well. But I think, as we're alluding to as well, Raikou could potentially be an attacker as well. We have the Mirage Gate too, Kyle, so I could potentially see the Switch Cart, Escape Rope, Mirage Gate as well. We just want all this utility.
Yeah, huge stuff here for sure. Let's see what the what the response is going to be here. Kind of going to possibly Super Rod in back some more energy. 3 of it in the discard. You might as well.
Yeah, might as well.
Especially because you do have the dragon in your hand right now, so that's going to be huge in the end game here, being able to clean up the last of those plates. However, I think we're seeing that exact play kind of play out here, where you're going to get Sableye out of the active, and you're going to swing for 3 prizes here, it looks like.
Yeah, 3 prizes is going to be huge right now, especially because we still have Attach Return as well. So that Raikou is definitely going to be going up, and with Lightning Rondo, that is going to be hitting for weakness. As you saw, it is going to be swinging for about 400 damage. And once again, we still have Sableye just ready to go. Manaphy does not have the counters on it either. So this is a really big swing from Blitzel, as now they only really need one more knockout on that helpless Inteleon V, just promoting it up for them to be our winner for tonight's late night.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's that happens.
We take those every day of the week. Yeah. We take those.
See what we can do here. But once again, if we're able to find the play, we're able to get it. And once again, Sableye as well. But here comes the Iono coming out from Corvinus. Get to replenish some of the hands in the deck, and there are the prizes. Yeah. Definitely not much we can work with here, especially with no Radiant Greninja on the field anymore, so we're not even able to conceal cards.
Alright, here we go. Again, he has kind of an awkward hand here. That nest ball, kind of a grenade in Blitzel's hand right now. Here we go. Super Effect is going to come through. Yep, the Gale Thrust moving to the active with the Water Towers. Going to double the damage. That's going to be huge here.
Wait, hold on. I think we're really close, Kyle. We're really, really close, right? So we're gonna lost mine here. So we need 8 on the Luminion. So I think we're gonna take the 2 prizer. Oh no, we just have it. There's 3 prizes.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Holy, yo, Blitzel's moving, bro. Blitzel is absolutely crushing it.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, see, that's a perks of Lost Box, right? If you're able to get that Mirage Gate, you have just set up 2 attackers, and that is going to be Blitzel as your late night champion for this evening with a very, very fantastic 3 prize turn.
Alrighty, and we'll talk more about it back on our home screen. So congratulations to Blitzel, and hold on for 2 seconds, folks. And we're looking at it's us. We're back. Yeah, that was definitely a riveting, final match there. You just saw that Lost Box. It just takes a real maestro to conduct these sort of decks. I mean, you saw the Radiant Greninja used beautifully there to set up that perfect Sableye math. You know, if Victor was here, Victor would have, been blushing all over the place of how masterful that was. You know, Victor talked a lot last week about, there was a lot of Lost Box in top 8 last week. He talked a lot about the perfect Sableye math, where Sableye is just able to just gently sprinkle, some damage counters all over the place and, really just make those end game checkmates even easier to hit. Like you said, able to hit the exact math to get 3 prize cards there when it mattered. And excellent stuff right there from All Out Blitzel. Is going to be our late night champion here for the 144 edition. That was a lot of fun to watch. Lost Box is great. It's like watching like a classical music get written.
Listen, I'm a big Lost Box hater, but I cannot hate Blitzel's performance in Game 1. To be able to claw that back with like 1 Comfy in play or 1 or 2 at most is very, very impressive. So congratulations to Blitzel. I'm so glad I still said Intel Fu was just so good. And I cannot wait to see what is going to be happening next week, as once again, our whole meta will just be influenced by Leal.
Yeah, so I hope you guys are excited for the Leal Championship, regional championships this weekend. I'm very much excited to watch. I love that TPCI has really been giving these European tournaments love. Everybody, I love watching the tournaments out there, and if you're going, like I said, if you're going to Leal this weekend, have fun, stay safe. I'm very much excited to park it this weekend and watch. Shout out to everyone that still with us in the chat right now. Hello, Ryan from Minneapolis. Hello from Central Time. We're here on Eastern Time, so I didn't have to see the Cheryl. Yeah, I don't think there's a Cheryl in that list, actually, now that I think about it. That's kind of like an oft forgot about card sometimes. At least maybe it was prized. I wasn't really sure. I didn't see one in the list, though.
No, it's in the list. I'm looking at it.
Oh, maybe you just didn't think to play it. I don't know. It could have been in the prize cards, might not have been an option. The board state was kind of awkward there as well, so you kind of bench locked yourself into not being able to play that out. But hey, you win some, you lose some. But that's gonna be it for us tonight, folks. So thanks again for watching. Thank you again to the Shuffle Squad for having us here. Maybe stay tuned tomorrow. There might be a little bit of an announcement coming your way that you guys might want to pay attention to. So, again, make sure to watch all the latest videos coming out this week. Top 10 decks. Make sure to check out all the affiliated creators with the Shuffle Squad as well. LDF, Claire, everyone involved with the Shuffle Squad. Make sure to show them some love. And if you want to check up with what we're doing, I myself and Emily will be in Toronto next weekend. So if you guys want to catch up with us and the chat what's going on, we're down there on the tweets below. And long live Urshifu, long live Lugia, long live Lost Box.
Long live Lost Box, yay!
Yeah, so will Jirachi be our savior? Probably not, but hey, at least it's a common card, so we'll always want to have one. But yeah, that's going to be it for us tonight, folks. I hope everybody had a wonderful time here in late night, and we will catch you guys next week. Good night, everybody.